And now the good news. I'm your host, Barbara Jean, and I am so excited to be with you this Friday afternoon or evening, depending where you are in the world. And I just want to say, oh, we've got some great stories for you tonight. Well, here's a really inspiring story of some beautiful people. A community raises $30,000 to bless a candy vendor with cerebral palsy who works 6 days a week. For nearly a decade, Staten Island resident Andy has been a familiar and heartwarming sight along Highland Boulevard, slowly pushing his candy cart up and down the busy street, rain or shine. What makes his dedication all the more remarkable is that Andy lives with cerebral palsy, yet he works 6 days a week, greeting commuters with a smile that has inspired countless people. This holiday season, one local woman decided it was time for Andy to be blessed in return for all the joy he brings to others. So, this isn't charity, Jennifer Romaro wrote on her GoFundMe page. It's an investment in someone who is truly spectacular. How nice is that? Ramira shared how Andy's daily perseverance reminded her of her late brother Robert, who also lived with cerebral palsy and faced life challenges with the same unwavering positivity. Her heartfelt post struck a chord with thousands of people online, and donations quickly poured in. Here's her post. For nearly a decade, the Great Kills resident has been a fixture at the intersection of Narrows Road South and Highland Boulevard. It's a grueling routine, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. He's there from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., rain or shine. Despite living with cerebral palsy, a condition that significantly impairs his body's motor functions, muscle coordination, and communication, Andy treats his job with absolute seriousness. His day begins at 5:30 a.m. with his alarm, followed by the demanding task of loading his vehicle before heading to his usual Concord spot. Today, Andy is a mainstay, consistently putting in 50 plus hours a week. Over that time, he's faced every reason to quit: brutal weather, being robbed on more than one occasion, and the loss of his commuter base during a worldwide pandemic. But with every obstacle came community support. His dedication has fostered a strong network of helpful neighbors, turning simple street side transactions into meaningful human connections. Romaro wants to surprise Andy with a special gift this holiday season, something that will allow him to take a well earned break, enjoy a short vacation, or simply buy himself something nice. In just days, the fundraiser has surpassed $30,000. Romaro says she plans to personally hand deliver every donation and message of encouragement to Andy before Christmas. And she wrote, "Your contribution is more than just money. It's a message of respect and appreciation that he will be able to read and cherish." Oh, that's so beautiful. Whew, makes me teary. What doesn't, right? You're getting to know me. I get teary often. Well, Canada has the largest world's Indigenous led conservation initiative. Indigenous led conservation in the Northwest Territories sets a global precedent, with communities drawing on traditional knowledge and stewardship practices to safeguard nearly 30% of the region's lands and waters. The Indigenous led conservation movement achieved a significant victory in July 2025 when Canada signed a $300 million grant agreement for Northwest Territories, Our Land for the Future. This groundbreaking initiative represents one of the most extensive Indigenous led land conservation efforts globally, protecting some of the world's most intact boreal and tundra ecosystems. 21 Indigenous governments and organizations now steward up to 380,000 square kilometers of land and inland water. This area spans nearly 30% of the Northwest Territories, equaling almost 7 times the size of the province of Nova Scotia or the entire country of Japan. The project aims to protect over 2% of Canada's total land mass in new terrestrial and freshwater areas. The funding combines $300 million from the Canadian government with $75 million from philanthropic partners. This investment will support long-term conservation while generating hundreds of good, cultural, meaningful jobs throughout the territory. Yay, Canada, you go. Way to go. Well, I'm so happy to hear good news like that with our Indigenous family. So now we're going to take a short little commercial break, but hey, don't go away. There is plenty more good news to come.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe.
Good news. All right. So, the world's largest solar panel mural powers a Canadian building while cutting 150 tons of carbon annually. Wow. And talk about beautiful. Oh, my goodness. It's gorgeous. Edmonton. Edmonton's record-setting solar panel mural transforms a high-rise facade into an energy generator and public artwork, reducing 150 tons of carbon annually while demonstrating that building integrated photovoltaics, whatever, can be both beautiful and cost effective. In Edmonton, Canada, a 12-story apartment building has transformed its exterior into a dazzling symbol of sustainability. The Sunrise building now holds the Guinness World Record for the largest solar panel mural, covering 34,500 square feet with a blend of art and renewable energy. This isn't just decorative. The mural generates 267 kilowatts of clean electricity while showcasing vibrant artwork by Indigenous artist Lance Cardinal. After year 5, the installation is expected to save residents and owners around $80,000 annually, roughly equivalent to the monthly rent from 7 additional units. Originally constructed in the 1970s, the building was in need of major upgrades. Instead of demolishing it, owner Avenue Living partnered with Mitrex to retrofit the structure. And as a part of the sustainability focused project, the use of building integrated BIPV panels was employed. These panels replace traditional siding, generating power while providing weather protection through an aluminum honeycomb core, rain screen, air and moisture barriers, and continuous insulation, critical for Edmonton's harsh winters. Well, the northern wall features the mural centerpiece, The Land We Share, an 85-foot tribute to the First Nations and Chinese communities central to the region's history. The mural was designed by Indigenous artist Lance Cardinal, blending Indigenous and Chinese cultural symbols to celebrate the building's diverse community. Wow, you go, Edmonton. Good job. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Well, it's, interesting to see all the different things that people do and why they do them. So here's a nonprofit that marks 40 years of delivering good by the billions to kids and families who need it most. An impressive nonprofit is marking their 40th anniversary. Since its founding in 1985, Delivering Good has distributed more than $3 billion worth of clothing, toys, and other home goods to people affected by poverty, disaster, and other life challenges, all free of charge. Today, they specialize in disaster relief with distribution initiatives like the Basic Comforts Pack, a collection of essential new items to offer a first step toward comfort, normalcy, and hope. It all started 40 years ago when Kids in Distressed Situations, KIDS, was founded by co founders Karen Bromley, Barbara Tomac, and Ezra Deba. They asked nonprofits a straightforward question: would you rather receive money or new product? The answer was unanimous: new product. Karen, whose early years were spent in foster care, understood this deeply. For children in foster care, in shelters, or living in poverty, new clothing and toys are unheard of. Receiving something new, something chosen just for them, restored a sense of dignity and hope. I knew that giving a child a brand new coat or a toy could make them feel special. It could say, "You matter." 2 decades later, in 2005, the devastation of Hurricanes Katrina and Rita inspired industry leader Alan Ellinger to act. Watching the news, he realized that while telethons raised money, families needed immediate, tangible help. I was part of a community that had product: clothing, shoes, home goods. I picked up the phone, called colleagues in the fashion industry, and within days, everybody said, "I'm in." The effort grew into Fashion Delivers, which focused on mobilizing new product for adults impacted by disasters. In its first year, the organization shipped $6 million worth of brand new goods to the Gulf Coast. For years, the two organizations worked side by side, but finally merged, united by a shared belief in the dignity of new products and the power of industry to respond. Delivering good has always been fueled by heart and passion. People in the industry coming together to make sure families in crisis get what they need most and that they receive it with dignity. Oh, that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Well, here's a sweet little baby. A British surgeon saves a baby's life by removing a tumor the size of her face, and he did it for free. Yes. A British surgeon removed a life threatening tumor from a baby's neck. The lump has been growing since she was just 5 months old, but when her mother, Aminata, took her to the local hospital in Sierra Leone, doctors told her she was too young for surgery. By the time she was 10 months old, her family began to fear the worst until Aminata bumped into a volunteer who works for Mercy Ships, a healthcare charity that operates hospitals aboard ships. Global Mercy was docked in Freetown, and when the staff saw how the tumor would eventually suffocate her, they immediately agreed to perform surgery aboard their ship for free. I was very worried for my child, said Aminata. She's so little for such a condition. Earlier this year, she was admitted and prepped for the meticulous 4-hour surgery performed by Royal London Hospital's maxillofacial head and neck surgeon, Dr. Leo Cheng. He successfully removed the tumor, effectively saving her life. When Amanita first took her daughter to the hospital, it was wrongly believed to be just a symptom of her having a cold, but the tumor continued to grow. Miraculously, during one visit to a children's hospital, she met Mercy volunteer Anne Marie Van Tonder, who immediately recognized the critical situation and referred Amanata for the surgery on the ship. Every single millimeter I was estimating. The two, just, there's a picture. Look at that picture. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful baby. It went very slowly but positively. And following the successful surgery, uh, Memunatu and her mother remained on the ship until the swelling subsided and she recovered. Back at home, weeks after her surgery, her neck, the tumor is gone. It was a great joy to see her little face. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. What good people. What good people. I'll tell you, we live in a world where we like to complain, there's no good people, but I'm here to tell you there are plenty of good people. So, a hero saves his golf buddy's life when a heart attack hits during a video call. We're all familiar with video calls these days. Well, a quick thinking woman saved her friend's life after witnessing him having a heart attack during a video call. Shannon Jeffries was about to head out into the English countryside for her weekly 9 holes with buddy Darren Oliver when the 60-year-old rang her to say he felt too unwell to play. But as they chatted, Darren, who was sitting in his car outside his home, began to stutter and then dropped out of frame. I knew immediately when I saw his face on the screen that something was very wrong, as he looked so gray. He got the words out and then started stuttering and dropped the phone. With no time to lose, Shannon rang Bowley Pines Golf Club, where staff gave her Darren's address. She raced to the scene and found him slumped over the steering wheel. I rang the ambulance straight away, and the operator told me to drag him out of the car onto the ground to clear his airways. Darren weighed more than 280 pounds, so that wasn't going to be possible. He was still breathing, so I managed to push his seat back and tilt his head back. Paramedics dashed to the scene, but as Darren was being driven to the hospital, he suffered a heart attack in the ambulance. He was resuscitated by the paramedics, but after another cardiac arrest, doctors warned her to say goodbye to her friend. It sounds daft now, but I pulled a golf ball out of my bag and put it in his hand and told him to hang on. Aw, a golf ball, who knew? In the months since his heart attack, he's lost a whopping 112 pounds or 8 stone and is back playing golf with Shannon every week. Now, that is a good news story. Well, here's an interesting story, and we have a video to back it up. A giant 7'9" Canadian is the tallest playing college basketball, dunking without jumping. Let's take a look at that video.
Olivier Rioux has just taken the shirt off, and he's getting set to not only enter this game, but break the record officially for tallest basketball player. This is as loud as it's been all night.
Brian, don't you have to run a play for him? Doesn't he have to get a touch?
I think you absolutely have to. Everybody's pointing to the post. That's off the glass. Tip doesn't go. Actually falls through. Standing in at 7'9", officially the new record for tallest college basketball player.
I'm happy for him.
Oh my goodness. That's leftover from the last story. 7'9". Like, wow. He was the same height as his kindergarten teacher and had eclipsed 7 feet tall by the time he entered 7th grade. And now standing at 7'9", Olivier Rioux from Quebec has ascended into sports history by becoming the tallest person to ever play in the college basketball game. As the minutes ticked away in the second half of the University of Florida's trouncing of North Florida on November 6th, the audience began chanting for Olivier. Moments later, Florida coach Todd Golden turned toward the Canadian and granted the crowd's wish. More cheers rang out, and soon history was made. Well, it's interesting to think about. I can't even imagine somebody 7'9", but hey, On a basketball team, he could really come in handy. All right, well, here we are with bumblebees. Bumblebees, this is crazy, I think. Bumblebees have learned to read simple Morse code. An ability seen only in humans and vertebrates. So, a new study is the first to show that an insect can differentiate between different directions of visual cues. In Morse code, a short duration flash or dot denotes a letter E, and a long duration flash or dash means letter T. Until now, the ability to discriminate between dot and dash has been seen only in humans and other vertebrates, including macaws and pigeons. Researchers at Queen Mary University of London built a special maze to train individual bees to find a sugar reward at one or two flashing circles, shown with either a long or short flash duration. The short flash or dot was associated with sugar, while the long flash or dash was instead associated with a bitter substance, quinine, that bees dislike. At each room in the maze, the position of the dot and dash stimulus was changed so that bees could not rely on spatial cues to orient their choices. After bees learned to go straight to the flashing circle paired with the sugar, they were tested with flashing lights but no sugar present to check whether their choices were driven by the flashing light rather than by olfactory or visual cues presented by the sugar. We wanted to find out if bumblebees could learn to see the difference between these different durations, and it was so exciting to see them do it. Eventually, most of the bees went straight to the correct flashing light duration previously associated with sugar, irrespective of spatial location of the stimulus, and the study published in the journal Biology Letters clearly showed the bees had learned to tell the lights apart based on their duration. Wow, bees are very funny, or very smart. Smart, I guess. Okay, so we've got a video on this one too, a TikTok video. It all started with a TikTok experiment and one pastor's willingness to help a stranger. Daya, can we have that video?
Hi. I was wanting to see if you all could help at all. I have a 2-month-old baby and I ran out of formula last night. I was wanting to see if y'all could help with formula.
Let me see. Give me your name and number.
My name is Nakali, or just Callie, and then my number is 859-353-7777.
7777?
Yes.
It's Kylie. What's your last name, ma'am?
Monroe, Monroe.
Okay. Now what exactly are you needing?
I just need the Good Start formula.
Okay. So how much do you need? I need to know about that.
I'm not sure. I think I usually have, I think it's maybe $17 at Walmart. I mean, if y'all could just get the formula, I could pick it up or have somebody come get it.
Well, I'm an officer right now for myself, and I'll see if I can get somebody to do this.
Okay.
We can do this. I'll just see. Tell me what it is it's called in case I have to go get it because I'm a great grandpa. I'm not used to picking up formula. Okay. What's it called?
Good Start.
Good Start. And
Sir. Sir.
It's for infants.
Yes, sir.
Infants formulas. Any flavor, anything to it, or just?
No, sir. Hey, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Hey, okay. I'm actually just testing churches to see which ones would actually help the community, and you just touched my heart. And I just want you to know that you are an amazing person. So that's the formula, but I don't need it. I just wanted to see if you were willing to help. And I just wanted to let you know that you touched me today, that you were actually willing to help or find the help.
Even I'm right now thinking internally in my church, my people won't ask for anything. They won't ask me or tell me nothing. And as a rule, most of my people have been blessed. But the ones that are struggling won't tell me. But I'm trying to figure right now with the SNAP program dying out tomorrow, or possibly, I'm trying to figure. I don't know how to ask my people how many of y'all are on SNAP because they might not want to tell me.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? And it's interesting that, this small church, he was ready right away to help. And, she just told him, "You're an amazing person." And this lesbian atheist just donated $100 to their food pantry. Yes, atheist. She might have got a little sprucing up there when it came to hearing his response and how warm and beautiful he was. Well, this is a letter from C.S. Lewis to his goddaughter, for whom he wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's a simple, heartfelt letter tucked inside the book that reveals the tenderness behind C.S. Lewis's legendary stories. It was addressed to his goddaughter, Lucy Barfield. "Dear Lucy, I wrote this story for you, but when I began it, I had not realized that girls grow quicker than books. As a result, you're already too old for fairy tales, and by the time it is printed and bound, you will be older still. But someday you will be old enough to start reading fairy tales again. You can then take it down from some upper shelf, dust it off, and tell me what you think of it. I shall probably be too deaf to hear and too old to understand a word you say, but I shall still be your affectionate godfather." C.S. Lewis. Whew, I love that. I love that. All right, one last story and one last video here today. Someone was digging to create a duck pond, and they uncover a mysterious underground tunnel made of shells. Dea, where's that video?
Each one of them has been fixed to the panels individually and by someone. Originally, they would have been much brighter and more colourful, but after several decades of exposure to moisture, dirt, and the old gas lights that used to illuminate the place, they've turned a sort of ghostly grey. But the effect is still hugely impressive, with shells covering every centimetre of available space, from the rotunda at one end, into a central meeting point, and then down through this snaking passageway into what they call the altar room. It's an incredible piece of work that must have taken someone a huge amount of time and a huge amount of effort. And yet to this day, no one knows who built it, when they built it, or why they built it.
Wow. Can you believe that? A tunnel made of seashells? Well, that's what happened to Margate Kent in 1835. When workmen stumbled into what we now call the Shell Grotto. Most accounts name James Newlove and his family. The grotto is roughly 70 feet long, and the shell-covered surfaces span over 2,000 square feet, a surface area made from an astonishing 4.6 million shells, including mussels, cockles, whelks, limpets, oysters, and scallops. The mosaics form stars, spirals, geometric designs, and baffling symbols that have puzzled historians and visitors for nearly 2 centuries. What makes the Shell Grotto so compelling isn't just its scale and beauty, it's the mystery of its origin. No one knows who built it, when it was built, or why. The grotto opened to the public in the late 1830s, and ever since, scholars and amateurs have debated its secrets. Well, that's the good news for this Friday, November the 21st. I look forward to seeing you again next week when we will explore more wonderful good news, interesting happenings, and whatever else we find between the Good News Network and Sunny Skies. Well, thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.